Welcome back to Physics with Miyoshi. Today we're here to talk about thermodynamics and the Zeroth Law of Thermodynamics. So, the Zeroth Law of Thermodynamics. First of all, before we talk about that, we know what thermal equilibrium is, and that just means that there's no net flow of heat between two systems, or between systems. We also know that temperature is not heat energy, but it is an indicator of heat energy. And that we also need to know that a thermometer is a third system, and we need to know that because of the definition now. So, the Zeroth Law says that two systems individually in thermal equilibrium with a third system are in equilibrium with each other. So what does that mean exactly? Well, if again we think about the third system being thermometer, if I have two systems and I set them up and they're apart from each other, and they each have the same temperature, so they're interacting with that third system, my thermometers, and my T1 and T2, they're the same. Well, if I then put them together and I have this diathermal medium between them now, so that there's heat is allowed to transfer back and forth between the systems, if my temperature stays the same between the two, if the temperature is still the same, then these guys are in thermal equilibrium. So, if we look at this, the definition, my two systems, when they're allowed to come together, they will be in thermal equilibrium because they're in thermal equilibrium with each other. Even at this point in time, they would be said to be in equilibrium as well, because they are individually in equilibrium with that third system, so they are in equilibrium as well. But it's mainly when we come together and allow them to interact with each other, that's when we normally look at that thermal equilibrium. So, thermal equilibrium, the Zeroth Law, when we look at two systems, if they're in thermal equilibrium with a third system, they are indeed in equilibrium with each other. That's the Zeroth Law in a nutshell. So, hopefully we'll learn a little bit more about this and a little bit more about the rest of thermodynamics here on Physics with Miyoshi. So, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time for more Physics with Miyoshi.